And then from your comfortable seated posture, whether it's supported or not, bring both palms to face down. And start to notice your breath. Drawing it in and out of the nose. Finding stillness. Finding time to just honor and pause. Honor the reset. A student asked me earlier today about meditation. If meditation meant having no thoughts, and we had a little chuckle about that. We're human. We constantly have thoughts being thrown at us. We think of one thing and it reminds us of another time. And it's fully connected. Everything just connects in this big web. So right now, I don't ask you to be clear of your thoughts, but just to be aware of your thoughts. And as something comes up, almost bring it to the forefront, right there. See it face to face. And then bring a smile to your face, and then just kind of press or brush off that thought and push it to the side. We're not pushing it down. We're not collecting it. We're just putting it to the side for later because it might be of importance. It may have to come up again. So every time it comes up, it's not a frustration, not a need to control or change. It's just being aware. So take that time right now to be aware where your mind pulls you to be aware of messages in your body, whether they're sensation, tingling, warmth, maybe even some coolness. Without changing anything, notice where your breath naturally went. Then shift the awareness to your palms, to the middle of the forehead, to the bottom lip, the right earlobe, the left knee, right ribs, left nostril, right big toe, belly button, left eyelashes, top lip, right ankle, a summer's day, a park nearby, the texture of wood, the taste of chocolate, the smell of a flower, the feeling of a loved one's skin, right eyelashes, right wrist, right index finger, right thumb, right middle finger. Take those two fingers, the index and the middle finger, to the forehead, middle of the forehead, to the third eye, and start to stimulate and make circular motions in the middle of the forehead there. Now it's a practice to watch our thoughts, watch the power that we have to shift to present, to shift to past, future, and then back to our body's awareness. Bring those two fingers back to stillness in the middle of the forehead. Then bring the thumb to close the right nostril. Inhale through the left side. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left side. Exhale through the left. In and out just the left side. Keep left palm face down. Right palm is going to come face up. Eyes closed. Shifting your focus up to the third eye. Still with the eyes closed, shift your focus down to the heart chakra. And bring that left hand to your heart now. Right arm or right hand is still open to receive. You might even feel good to bring thumb and index finger together in that right hand into your chain breath. Anahata heart chakra. Your heart has opened its chambers to new possibilities, and the light is coming through to soothe its once dark corners. This love heals all and allows you to see all people for their greatest potential, including yourself. By putting down your armor, you are truly able to use the intelligence of your heart, which will always guide you in the right direction. Trust the journey of the heart. It may not always make sense to the mind, but it is aware of possibilities the mind cannot yet envision. When you truly live a heart-centered life, there is nothing left to fear. Meditate on the color green and practice heart-opening yoga poses to aid the journey. With your eyes closed, maybe you want to draw that color green in at heart center. What are you open to receiving? And what love are you sending back out? And slowly flutter the eyes back open. And we will meet back and seated. If you're on your knees like me, you're going to meet back into cross-legged. Or if you need to take a rest on your legs, you can take them out in front, maybe windshield wiper the feet. Then we will come back to cross. And see if you can take that non-dominant leg on top. So if you naturally cross one leg under, just switch that for a second here. Right hand to the outside of your hip, and then find some space through the side of the body. Inhale, lift to center. Exhale, lower that hand down, dipping over towards that left side, finding that space to the side of the body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist to the right, right arm back, left hand on top of your knee. Inhale. Bring your gaze up with you. Exhale. Twist to the other side. Inhale. Looking up. Exhale. Find a forward fold. Walking your hands back to the front of your body. Removing any distractions from your mat right now. So any of your props that you don't need, unless they're blocks, you might choose to use them. And we will come into a little bit of cat and cow movement just to get the body warmed up to be safe in our restorative practice. Hands underneath shoulders, knees hip width distance apart. And start to move through some cat and cows by lifting the heart, dropping the belly, arching the back. And rounding through the spine, tucking your chin to your chest. Inhale. Lifting through your heart. And exhale. Rounding through your back. Moving through that. Intuitively following your breath. And less focus on following my voice. Beautiful. And next, when you lift your heart to cow, you're going to tuck your toes and send your sit bones over top of your heels, thinking about your child's pose here, releasing the fascia of the feet, taking 3 breaths. And round through your spine, come back forward. As you come off of the toes, press through the tops of the feet, round that back again, coming into cat, and then sit back on top of your heels like we just did. Walk your hands closer. See if you can make a tent with the hands, and then send your weight into your heels. Option to use your blocks here. Float the knees off, doesn't need to be high. And at the same time, round through your spine, tuck your chin until you start to feel that length through your shin. Take 1 more breath. Lower your knees back down. Walk back out to table. Tuck your toes, lift your heart, finding that cow pose. Round your back, untuck your toes, press to the tops of feet, finding cat. One more, building a bit of strength. Lift your heart, arch in the back, tuck your toes. And then see if you can draw your core back in, hover your knees, and press back to a down dog. Come back into your tabletop. From your table, press back to the tops of feet. Round your spine into your cat. Press through those feet. And then sit back on your heels. We'll do one more round, working in the shin. Fingertips press into the ground. Round your back. Float the knees off as you press to the tops of feet. 3 breaths. And lower the knees back down and walk your hands back out to your table. Drawing your core back in. Tuck your toes. Sit back on your heels last time, and you're coming into a gentle version of a toe squat. So use a block if you have them. Going to see if you can lift the knees off over the block, just to demo first, so that you're on the balls of the feet, the heel is lifted. This is releasing all fascia that's been building up. If you're uncomfortable here, you're going to use blocks. If you're uncomfortable lifting your knees to your chest, you're going to repeat what we just did. See if you can bring your hands to prayer, finding your toe squat. Finding your drishti ahead, take one more breath. You'll lower the hands, lower the knees, and move on our blocks. Come off the toes and give some life back into it. Pedal through the feet or top your feet up. And then step up to the top of your mat. Find the forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, resetting your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend into your knees, root your eyes. Take your time as you roll up. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. Gentle sternum start A. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands. Step back with the left foot first. We'll lead with that more nurturing side. Then our right foot. Lower to the knees. Untuck your toes. Lead your heart forward, finding your chaturanga. Lift your heart, baby cobra. Press back either to table, child's pose, or right into down dog. 6 breaths of rest. However is most comfortable for you to travel to the top of your mat. You're going to look forward and either stepping from your table or your down dog. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Bend into your knees, reverse swan as you take your arms up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Lead with the left side. Step it back. Bend the other. Lower your knees. Lead with your heart. Chaturanga. Gently come to the floor. Lift through your heart. Baby cobra. And your choice, are you coming back to table, child's, or down dog? Just repeating what we did the first time, 6 breaths. Travel to the top of your mat, stepping one foot down the other. Inhale, half of it. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half a lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Find your way back into your plank. You have the option for a modified plank from the knees or full expression, bringing your weight over top of your wrists. Chaturanga. Lifting up, baby cobra still. Gliding back, down dog. Or table, only 4 breaths of rest this time. Move to the top of your mat, step or hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale, find forward fold. Inhale, half a lift. And exhale, forward fold, stepping back into your plank. Taking your vinyasa, whether it was from knees or from full plank. Maybe lift to full cobra if your spine is ready. Gliding back, down dog or table, 4 breaths of rest. Move to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, press to your heels, lift up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last 2 times before we move into our restorative postures. Inhale, arms up. Lift your heart, come into a gentle back bend if your spine is warm up enough to go there. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Reset. Exhale. Forward fold. Stepping it back to plank or table. Lean forward. Chaturanga. Lifting up. Baby cobra or full cobra. Resting for 4 breaths. Pressing back. Child's down dog or tabletop. Make your way back to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Roll all the way back up to mountain. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale. Lift your heart, gentle back bend. Exhale, swan dive. Halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Find your way back into your plank or table. This is your last vinyasa. Finding chaturanga. Lifting up. Cobra. And then pressing back last time, down dog or your table. We will meet back on our knees in tabletop. We are coming into our restorative postures. The first pose, I'm going to give you 2 options. You can either do a restorative child's pose, or you can do a restorative forward fold, wide angle forward fold. But before we get into it, this is a great opportunity that if you have your lights on, you might want to dim them if you can. Add some layers because we want to make sure we can be fully comfortable in our restorative. So we don't want to have to be running to move something or change something. So add your layers on now, or if you have a blanket handy, you're going to use it to try to cover yourself in. And I'm going to have to keep the lights on just because of technology. So my place might not look as cozy as your place, but get cozy. Set the tone of your space. Make it comfortable right now. So the first option was your restorative child's pose. So your knees are going to be wide, your big toes are together, and you're going to use those pillows that I asked you to grab. So if you have blocks, you could always place your blocks in front first, with about a hand of space between your blocks, and then place your bolster on top so that you're a bit higher, so that you're not dumping right into child's pose. You can stay a bit higher up and lean forward to hug your bolster or your pillow. This bolster is actually a bit taller and thicker, so I might not even need my blocks for that posture. Your second option is to come to seated, taking your legs wide, so similar to that child's pose. Knees can stay bent, and instead you're going to make a reverse ramp that we do with our heart opener. It's going to do the reverse of that. One block tallest level furthest away, one block at the shortest level, placing our pillow or our blankets or whatever you have for comfort in front. Knees can stay bent. You can bring the pubic bone so it's lined up, and then just find your expression forward. So we're still lengthening through that spine. So those are your two options for the first pose. And I won't be joining you for the pose because I might not get out of it to teach you. I might fall asleep, so I need to be focused. So find comfort here. This should be soothing. It's okay if you need to fidget to fully get into the pose. Let go of tension and let go of needing to control what this shape looks like. Yoga is not a shape. Feel the pose. Settle into the pose. Your breath is your guide. Feel as if there is warmth on that spine and low back. Can you trust this asana? Can you trust this posture? Can you fully settle in? Our practice is all about awareness. Being aware of our body, being aware of our thoughts. Find that state of bliss, ananda, in this pose. Take 3 long breaths here. You will draw your hands under your shoulders if you are in that child's pose. To slowly press up. If you're in the wide straddle, you can walk your hands up the legs to press up. In both postures, you want to take the legs out in front. So if you're on the knees for child's pose, long knee and stack pose, take a passive forward fold. Moving out of your forward fold. Our next restorative posture we will be doing on both sides. So I will demo it first before you come down. Most of you are familiar already with supine twists, or taking that restorative expression of it. So a bolster might feel too much to have between your legs unless you have the narrow rectangular bolster. That would actually be a great prop to have. Or you're going to take a blanket and fold it up so that it has maybe a medium thickness so that it's on your knee. So keep it to the right edge of your mat for a second. And when we come to recline, we'll bring our knees to the right and then place that blanket between the knees to support knee and ankle if that's available. You know your body best, so if you think it's going to be better to support more of the upper part of the knee than it is the ankle, or adjust whatever you need. So knees are going to go to one side, shoulders are going to come down to the earth. So a good option again to tuck yourself in with a blanket here and taking your arms out to a T. We don't want to see gripping of the hands. We want that natural curve in the palm so that you can let go. We don't want to see gripping of the knees to hold that blanket or bolster. We want to soften. So if the props aren't helping, you don't need to use them. So try to find the most comfortable expression for you in this supine twist. And your head is either going to stay at center or it's going to look away from the knees. With it being more restorative, my suggestion is keep your head at center to start. You might not feel as comfortable to look away the whole time. And then close your eyes. If you have an eye pillow, place it. And then find your expression of supine. soften my grip and remind myself not to hold on so tight. I am safe. I am held. What spaces are you holding tension? Stay a little longer on the side in your supine twist. Three long breaths. One more. Before you move right out of this, if you were looking away from your knees, bring your head to center first. Allow the props to fall. Hug your knees into your chest on your spine. Give them a squeeze. We will plant the feet back down and grab a hold of our props and just move them to the other side. It should be light enough and gentle enough to make that transition over. And then setting up the same expression, so bringing the bolster between the knees and the thighs over towards that left side. And then making contact with the shoulder blades back into the mat, palms open up to the sky. Looking away from the knees or keeping that head at center. And then maybe even bend more into your elbows if you found there was too much grip in the hands. Just soften here. This is your practice. Modify it for what works for you. And then can we settle back in? If the mind is still active, this is a good check-in to do a body scan from the toes to the ankles, to the calves, to the knees, to the thighs, to the hips, to the low back, middle back, thoracic spine, shoulder blades, armpits, elbow creases, wrists, and palms. Still on that supine twist. Your expression of it, staying here. If you feel the need to shift or move, feel free to, but then come right back to stillness. Taking 3 long breaths on the side. Gently bringing head back to center first. You took the option of looking away. Then hugging the knees back into your chest, allowing blocks or any other props just fall if you're using them. Giving yourself a hug. Still staying on your spine. To come out of your twist, either take your legs up to the sky in Viparita, beautiful, or take your legs long to the top of your mat if that just feels like too much work right now. Just to kind of stretch everything back out after that juicy twist that we just took. You can lower your legs back down if you have them lifted. We will come right into Shavasana. If you'd like to take one final restorative pose as your Shavasana, my recommendation is to do your heart opener, your recline expression of it, using your pillows from that thoracic spine up, or using your bolster for the length of your spine. So I'll demo bolster first. So bolster is either you're going to come to the base of your spine and you're going to recline. Legs can be long, or feet can be together and knees wide into butterfly pose. Some of you may have blocks at home and may want to do a ramp for that heart opener, using one block at the tallest level, one block at the lowest level. This bolster is too much for both blocks, but if you have the long rectangular block, you might want to use one tall and then one at the short level underneath for support. Doing that same recline version, or any other restorative pose. The other part I was mentioning, if you don't have a bolster, you could use your blanket. And you could always roll up your blanket into more of a cylinder form to be your modified bolster, and bring it from the brow line or the base of the ribs all the way up to have more openness. And your last option is maybe to take a blanket, fold it up underneath the low back for some support. So lots of different restorative options to come right into Shavasana. Closing the eyes and coming back to stillness. Your heart has opened its chambers to new possibilities, and the light is coming through to soothe its once dark corners. This love heals all and allows you to see all people for their greatest potential, including yourself. By putting down your armor, you are truly able to use the intelligence of your heart, which will always guide you in the right direction. Trust the journey of the heart. It may not always make sense to the mind, but it is aware of possibilities the mind cannot yet envision. When you truly live a heart-centered life, there is nothing left to fear. Meditate on the color green and practice heart-opening yoga to aid the journey. If there is intention or messages you wish to leave at that center to close your practice, bring it to your heart. Om Shanti Shanti. Om. Come back home to the space by wiggling your fingers and spreading in the toes. Anything you wish to leave here, please feel free to do so. Your mat, Gaia, Mother Earth, will take care of it for you. Take your awareness and your light-felt practice with you off your mat. If you're using props, you're going to roll off the props onto one side. And if you're on your spine, gently roll to one side. And slowly come upright. Take your time. We'll bring our left hand back to our heart and the right hand face up in chin mudra, or bringing our thumb and index finger back together. So drawing in through that right side to the heart. Having any final intentions or final thoughts here in your practice. And bringing palms together to Anjali chakra, third eye for intuition. To our mouth and our throat, Vishuddha, speaking our truth. And to our heart, Anahata, for being open to receive and open to send love. From my heart to yours. Put a little love in your heart. Namaste.